Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to hit you with a video. Now, I hope you all have been having a very good weekend, just like I've been having. And I know a lot of you all finna get ready to go to church. Some of you all probably already went to church or waited till y'all got through with church to see this video because I didn't want to mess your joy up this morning, if you will. Now, we have a pastor out of Greenville, South Carolina. And big shout out to all my people in South Carolina and also Greenville holding it down. But I'll tell you, this is not the only thing green about this church episode, if you will. This is more like a green leaf instead of Greenville. Now, this pastor goes by the name of, I think, Mr. John Gray. Pastor John Gray of the Relentless Church in Greenville recently became the new pastor there. I think it was sometime in the last year when the other pastor went to California to take over the church over there. So they pretty much swap around all over the country whenever they choose, like, or whatnot. But this pastor, John Gray, was an associate pastor under Joe Olsteen Church, the big Megachurch in Houston, Lakewood. For those of you all who watch the service or whatnot, you already know how Joe Olsteen getting down. He's already about that prosperity. He's all about the prosperity and giving me that money, because if you ain't got no money, you don't get no blessings and you don't get no honey. But this pastor recently became under fire on the Facebook when he decided the best thing to do was go buy his wife a Lamborghini Urus. Yes, he went about Lamborghini Urus. And some of y'all can't even say Lamborghini. Some of y'all think about a Lamb right now. Like, what the hell is a Lamborghini? For those who know what it is, it's a very nice vehicle. They was known for making fast cars like Diablos, Countaches, and all this other stuff. But they also recently became interested in the SUV market. So they decided to make a Urus. You know, just like Porsche came out with theirs, Bentley coming out with theirs. And you know anything about Lamborghini, it sounds expensive. And yes, it sounds and costs just like how much it sounds. A lot of money. Now, this vehicle is well over $200,000. And you might be saying, well, you know, hey, you got a lot of people buy, well, not a lot, you got quite a few people who buy their wives or husbands' vehicles, yes. But, you know, very few of them are preachers, you know what I'm saying? And so when we know we hold preachers, which sometimes we should, sometimes we shouldn't, to a certain standard. But what happens when, you know, it feels like sometimes they take advantage of you and people want to call certain people scammers. Now, I'm not up here calling people a scammer. I'm not calling this pastor a scammer. But what I'm trying to say, it sounds very funny and also messed up. Now, it's nothing wrong with him wanting to buy his wife a nice vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Long as it's his money, he didn't use the church donations money or anything pertaining to the church. But you already know that's how they all get their start. But okay, now this pastor has a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network also has 2 books. So he's pretty much a reputable pastor. He has you know, certain businesses or whatnot. But that wasn't so much as the point to why people started calling him out. And he came back and made a video on Facebook, and we're really in tears, saying basically that he don't have to explain anything to no one about what he do for his wife. He says he's a husband first before he's a pastor. And I find a lot of preachers saying that, saying, well, I'm a man before I'm a preacher. Well, you know, when do the pastor part come in? When do the preacher part come in? But this is why, you know, it's best to know the word yourself, if you will. And people say, well, when people hear that, they think that you're just talking loosely like a lot of other people. And also, the thing that stuck out the most to me about the whole situation is the fact that his wife said, and really she should have just be quiet. She should have just hushed and didn't say nothing. She said that you don't call out basketball players when they buy expensive things. You pay to see them play. So basically what you're saying is that, but before I say this, God didn't call him to be a basketball player, but you preachers and stuff, y'all say that, you all say that God called you to be a preacher, right? That's what I always hear. God called me. So we can't sit there and say, well, God called a LeBron James, God called a Michael Jordan. Now, true, he might have blessed them with the talents, but they're not up here saying, this is what God wanted me to do. This is, I'm not up here. I'm not up here, you know, just by myself. God put me up here, but that's what you all say. So you can't compare the two together. So when the first lady says that we don't complain about basketball players and, you know, people in the entertainment buying their wives or buying themselves nice things, that's because it's totally different. You cannot compare a preacher to an entertainer, but I guess they want to be entertainers since they're taking pictures with Tyrese and the likes of Hollywood and everything else. So I guess they consider themselves somewhat of celebrity also, but it was very naive and ironic for her to say that also, because what's the purpose of saying that you're not a basketball player? And you say, well, people pay to see the basketball players play. True, but that means, so what you're saying metaphorically is that we have to pay to see the preachers play. I mean, preach what they play too. So basically saying that we should give money to the preachers also, and we basically watching them perform, so we shouldn't say anything. I don't know what the hell they are talking about and what point they're trying to get across. Then for the pastor to use the book of Ephesians and basically saying that, man, you're supposed to honor your wives and stuff, treat them in a certain regard and everything. Like this is what God would want me to do. And he basically used a reference out of Ephesians of men how to treat your wives and respect them, as to you supposed to just buy them the most expensive things and all this other stuff. And then also for them to say that, God wants you to be prosperous, prosperous and stuff, and have all this other stuff. But then if that was the case, then, and I'm not going to preach, but I'm trying to make a point, because just like Joe Olsteen says that, we're here to be prosperous and multiply and grow. But that don't really mean in financial sense, because how can you preach prosperity when, from my interpretation of the Bible, it wasn't about prosperity. It was about, converting man, getting man to change. Because if that's not the case, then why, when Jesus, just to quote the Bible, the story, not verbatim, but in so many ways, why when Jesus was a young man, he went into the gamblers' temple or something, and turned over the gamblers' tables and stuff? If it was all about money, they was not exchanging money. So evidently it was a reason for that, but they'll take this Bible and try to make it seem like it is something else. And also, why would Matthew 19:24 say, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, or the kingdom of God. So why would it say that? Because what an eye of a needle is, very narrow, it's very small, because the man in riches, because money corrupts, like power, it corrupts. So that would be the purpose I see. So why would you want to have all this stuff here when it's temporary, when they supposedly supposed to teach people about building their kingdoms up in the next life or whatnot, for those who believe? But that's what it says, it's not what I'm saying. But I'm going to read a snippet from this story, and we're going to try to explain this surely as we go. With tears, Megachurch pastor defends $200,000 Lamborghini gift to his wife. Yes, they balling. He didn't go buy a Buick. He didn't go buy her a LaCrosse, a Honda Accord. He said, no, baby, you can get the Lambos. I mean, damn, I wonder, did she have a dream that she woke up in a new Bugatti? Now, this story comes out of Greenville, South Carolina. It should have been Greenleaf. The new pastor of a South Carolina megachurch gave his wife a $200,000 Lamborghini SUV. They just started making these rascals for their 8th anniversary 5 days ago, and he's been getting heat on social media for it ever since. Yes, Bill Gates ain't even got one of these damn Lamborghinis. Hell, you know what Bill Gates can drive around? That's true. He can afford a lot of shit. They got a lot of expensive stuff, but guess what? They ride around in regular cars. Because the people that really got money, they don't want you to know they got money. They'll build themselves properties up and all this other stuff. But, to each their own. If you like nice cars, you like nice things, fine. But like I said in the beginning of the video, for people would not get the wrong misinterpretation, is that, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have bought his wife anything. You buy your wife what you want, but don't try to justify using the book of Ephesians and then saying that it's my business, and it is your business. The point is, as long as you didn't use the church funds, it's cool. Now, in an Instagram video taken at the celebration Saturday, John Gray, pastor of Relentless Church, led his wife to a bow-wrapped car and handed her the keys while saying, Lamborghini, yours. He later acknowledged on social media that he bought the luxury vehicle for her and responded to the criticism of the purchase. Basically, it was their 8th-year anniversary from what I heard, and he responded to the criticism, which was it was all right. But it's just that mess his wife said, like, you pay basketball players. That's the fact that I can't get out of. So you all consider yourselves entertainers. So if that's the case, we need to look at you all like entertainers, like some of us already do. Now, the video of the presentation, which has not been posted, was taken down. Why take the video down? Don't put your video up and take it down. Leave that joke up. Now, he says, this the pastor, God help me to make my wife's dreams come true. He wrote in an Instagram post Tuesday night. He says, why not? She's made mine come true. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so, it make me want to cry. Really, it does. It ain't nothing wrong with love. Yes, it's nothing wrong with love. Matter of fact, I preach love. But one thing we're not going to preach is bullshit. We're not going to preach BS. You feel me? We're not going to do that right there. But at the same time, I do believe in making your mates happy. So let's not get that twisted also. But I am not a preacher also. Now, by Thursday, he was on Facebook Live. And you know when they go on Facebook Live, it's going to be what? A whole lot of jive. He's tearing up at times as he defended as he's defended his decision and said the sport utility vehicle was bought with not a nickel, not a hot dime, not a penny of his salary from the church or other church money. You feel me? He like, I didn't take one hot cent out that church. You feel me? All this comes from me. So y'all can get off my ass because I ain't got time for you all to be questioning me. But at the same time, why do people cry? You giving them what they want. Just like some of my people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say their names on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? God bless them. But, you know, you make people make you cry. You are not going to see me cry. I don't give a damn if the world about to come to me. I'm just going to drop and pray and drop down and give you 50. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to cry, though. I'm not going to shed no tears. I ain't going to sing. Now, he says, my wife has pushed for my dreams in my vision. And she has toyed with a man who is still trying to find himself. Gray said, damn, Gray, you're 45 years old. You ain't found yourself yet, but you're going to try to lead other people. How can you help somebody if you ain't found yourself yet? That to me, that's like an old phrase. What since we talk about the Bible, yeah, the blind leading the blind. I don't understand that part. You surely, maybe you have said that wrong or whatnot. Sometimes you give too much power to your wives. Yes, a woman can build you up just like a man can build a woman up. But damn, if that's what it takes for you to be a man, what kind of man are you? Because what you going to do when she gone and what you would have done if you would have never met her? I ain't going to preach now. Grace said, that carries a weight. I wanted to honor her for how she's covered me. For how she's covered you. I thought the Most High covered you, you know, but I understand she's your helpmate. She's your helpmate. You put her in a higher position than you do. Your God, the way it sounded. I mean, dang. I mean, how whipped are you? How coochie whipped are you? And that's what happened with a lot of these church guys. A lot of your church guys and stuff. I'm serious. Some of you guys just take the cake. I know I tried it. I've tried it before. Like I told you all, my little history, some of it that I can tell, you know, that I was raised in Church of God in Christ, Kojic. And I've seen some of the most, and it's going to upset some people. Hey, the truth is the truth. I've seen some of the most feminine ass, man. I've seen some of the most men up in there that is feminine and also gullible as hell and get mad. And you can be friends, but they meet somebody in the church. You know how you after church, you go over each other's house, have dinners and stuff. They don't hardly do that no more. It's a good thing. Why? Be careful who you do that with. And all of a sudden they get with somebody, then they change on you. So you sitting there having a conversation with the person they with. They're like, oh, you talking to her more than me? I'm like, and that actually happened to me one time. Like, fool, you going to get your ass beat up in my house right after church. Don't come at me like that. But anyway, I ain't going to say his name. But yeah, I'm like, well, damn, you just met this girl. And no wonder this girl was cheating on you in the back of the Ford Explorer. Not with me, but I ain't going to say too much now. But these supposed to be your holy rollers. Yeah, it's real. No lie. Now, Gray, who's 45 years old, took over leadership in May of Relentless Church, which had 5 campuses and an active membership of, guess what, 22,000 people up in there. When church founder Ron Carpenter handed him the reins of what had been called Redemption Church for 27 years. Carpenter moved to San Jose, California to become a pastor of Jubilee Christian Center, which he renamed to Redemption Bay Area Church. Mr. Carpenter is just like a carpenter. He's living up to his last name. No wonder his last name is Carpenter. They think they slick with these last names, how they be changing. Sometimes it don't even be their last name. Guess who else was a carpenter? For those who know. Oh, thank you. Somebody know it. But anyway, let's continue. Now, Gray, who is a Cincinnati native, big shout out to all my people in the Cincinnati area, also remains an associate pastor, guess where? At Joe Olsteen's Lakewood Church, the same church that closed the door to the people that got affected by the hurricane, the same church that would not let people come in there until people start putting them on blast and still didn't hardly let nobody come in there. Yes, that church right there in Houston, while taking the lead at Relentless. Gray has control of the assets of the Greenville Church, its vision in the future of its ministry. Yes, he's got control of the assets. Lamborghinis, here we come. Now, as the pastor of a non-denominational evangelical megachurch, Gray is in a relatively small club. Yes, a small club. You feel me? Because it's not too many of these mega churches out here. But trust me, you'll know when you see them. Just like the Potter's house. You could be on the highway. You see that joker way from the damn highway. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? They should have just left that joker a mall. As of 2015, the United States had about 1,650 Protestant churches whose weekly attendance averages 2,000 or more, according to the Institute of Religion Research. Now, as of 2012, only 40 of about 300,000 churches. We got 300-some thousand churches across the United States, but we have so much murder, kidnapping, and shit going on in this country. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Ain't no way we supposed to have over 300,000 churches, no matter from the smallest to the biggest, and we still got all this hell over here in North America. I mean, damn, that's just like you go in your neighborhood, you see a church on every other 4 blocks. People say every other block, but it's really 4 or 5 blocks. Why in the hell is there so much poverty and drug sale and prostitution and all kinds of other criminal, low-level shit going on in the hood? Answer that question. So maybe somebody is not around there preaching the right thing. That's all I'm trying to say. Where is God? You know what I'm saying? He does exist, you know, at least I believe. But at the same time, where is he at around here in these neighborhoods and stuff? Because truly, you look around, go outside your house, some of you all that live in the hood, look around you. Look around you. I don't see God. Anyway, let's continue. Now, Greenville's median household income from 2013 to 2017 was a little less than $54,000, about $4,000 less than the U.S. as a whole, according to the Census Bureau, which like the average income. With median income, the midpoint, half of all households in a city of about 500,000 residents make more money and half make less. Now, Gray said he has saved his money for years and drew on a variety of sources financially, including his second book deal in the 4th season of the Book of John Gray. Golly, I mean, he got seasons for the book. How many books you got to write? I'll write 1 book and that'd be it. That'd be it. I'm just going to stand on that one. Now, his Oprah Winfrey Network reality, you already know how you have to get hooked up with Oprah. I ain't going to say too much. TV show to pay for the gift on he and his wife's honeymoon 8 years ago. They were so broke that he said they had to share a shrimp cocktail. The same thing TD Jake said. He had to just have a few members and stuff. And a lot of people debate that also. But they want you to think they so damn poor they have to share a shrimp cocktail. Now, me and my wife was that damn broke. We ain't finna share no shrimp cocktail. We gonna go get us a can of sardines and some crackers, and we'll share that right there since we so poor. Let's continue. Now, his wife, Venter Gray, I hope I'm saying that name right, defended her husband. This when all the gloves and the wolves came out the woodworks. Now, defended her husband Sunday in her own Instagram post. They got Instagram and everything. What preachers need Instagram and Twitter for? I mean, let me know that. The church is supposed to be your battleground. Now, saying he gives away cars and furniture as well as coats off his back in addition to tied into the church. Probably the coats he can't fit no more because like you feeding them very good, Miss Aventa. Congratulations to you all. So I'm sure he's giving away a jacket every week. The pastor recently said that people in need, especially widows and veterans, should take money from the church's donation baskets. Yes, they should. And also single mothers and single fathers who are out here trying to make a way for themselves. I'm not talking about people who just have babies just for the hell of it. 5, 6, 7, 8. But even them, if you see them still trying, because we all entitled to what? To make a mistake. So we can't judge everybody. But I'm sure, and it's a good deed that he helps widows and veterans, but also help single mothers, single fathers, help people who's trying to better their education, help people who's trying to come back into society, people that's trying to get re-entry and stuff, people that's been in jail, people that's been in prison for years. Have programs set for those people. How about, just build a damn community center for the community? Why tell me this right here? In our communities, why we have these buildings and we can't use these buildings except to have parties and have secret meetings? Yes, oh yes, it is. It's so real. Why do we have these buildings in our community and you have people sleeping on the street and it says on us outside, community? What community means? Commune, everybody. So why do we have this building here and it's not serving the community? That's the whole point right there. Now let's continue before I get in trouble. Now he says also, well, she says his wife is she on her rampage right now. You know how some of you women are. Y'all hate when y'all get called out, and some of you all hate when somebody pick on your baby, pick on your man. Now she says, I don't see anyone screaming about how basketball players drive what they do while you paying dollars to see them play in arenas and on the fields. Now, pause. Let's repeat this again because I'm not sure if I heard her right. She says, I don't see anyone screaming about how basketball players drive what they do while you paying money to see them play in arenas and on fields. They're entertainers. So you want us to look at preachers like they're entertainers also? Because I'm sure we can do that and it really be something totally different. So do you want that? I don't think you really want that. I don't think you really took time out to think about logically and assess what it is that you have said. You compare a preacher to a basketball player, which is some. that you should never do, because basketball players are entertainers, but they never stood up there and said, I am called by God, and try to tell people right from wrong. Now, you might have some give advice, but it's totally different. That's like you trying to compare a doggone doctor to a doggone janitor. It's two totally different things. True, they both go to work and they both walk on floors, but they do not do the same thing while they walk on those floors. So I don't know what kind of comparison she was trying to put together. She says also, we don't live for people. We live for God. They always want to throw God in there. And the best thing to do, if they're going to just say something, just let them talk. Don't sit up here and open your mouth and say something else, because you can really tell. And we ain't going to use the word stupid, because I'm still trying to be respectful, even though the whole situation is stupid. So we'll use the word naive. It was very naive to sit up here and say that and make that statement. Let them talk. You don't have to defend yourself. See, that's what a lot of people want you to do. I'm not saying that the man is right or wrong, because I don't know his financial accounts. I don't know his records. Long as the money wasn't from the church itself, true, he does good deeds, but also a lot of other people do good deeds also. You had drug dealers passing out turkeys and stuff. You ain't never seen New Jack City? You ain't never heard American Gangster? Yeah, they pass out turkeys and everything. But guess what? Selling dope right in your hood. Now, I'm not saying these preachers selling dope, but it's a comparison. So for somebody to sit up here and say, they doing this, but also we doing that. Come on, man. That sounds like you robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm not going to preach now. Now, in a December 27 interview with the Greenville News, when he was hired, John Gray defended pastors who drive fancy cars. He said he had few indulgences, and one of those was to own a fine car. And he called a fine car not no Mercedes. He talking about Lambos, Ferraris, Bugattis, stuff like that. Yeah, he talking about Strikers, and you don't know what a Striker is. I'm not talking about a damn Patriot missile. No, we talking about them expensive ass cars. Let's continue. Now, he says also, if the individuals that are serving are honorable and they are committed to serving, if they have saved their money and want to do something nice for their spouse, or they want to live in a nice home, you got one life, he said a year ago. And that's what they preach. They preach, tell you, get everything here while you can, because once it's over with. True, some of us believe that, some of us not, but just the way they say it. See, they live for the moment. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of them still be empty, run up in these churches and stuff, because it's a routine. It's repetition. You feel me? And they don't really know why they're going. They still don't understand the fact that you pass up 10 homeless people to get to the church, and you don't even pull over to assist one homeless person, but you go in there and shout and stomp a hole in the floor. Now, you think God gonna be pleased with that since we want to talk about God? No, he's not. No, he's not. You don't have to step your foot in one church. All you gotta do is just help your brother and your sister and love your neighbor. That's all you gotta do, because if you love and help them, guess what? You doing whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. Let's continue, because that's too much for some people. Now, in February, the couple went to the NBA All-Star game in Los Angeles. Balling out there. That's why she used basketball players, I guess. And at their hotel was a presentation for the luxury vehicle, John Gray said. Now, he couldn't have done it at his church in Greenville, which would have been more better. I'm sure even his members, for those who ain't so brainwashed, they would have appreciated that. Like, well, that's a good thing. But you go out here and make it a public spectacle. Like, you can ball like Allen Iverson and like you can ball like these other people, because that's the stuff they do. How many times we done seen the football players, you know what I'm saying, actors, rappers, singers, and stuff present nice gifts to their significant other at events. So he decided he wanted to do the same thing. You could have just done it at your church. Now, he says, I saw my wife's eyes light up. She said, this would be a dream, and that's all she had to say. So he basically was committed. This is a good thing. This man loved his wife. I'm not telling him that you shouldn't love your wife. And I'm not telling you all you shouldn't love your wife. But damn it, if you're going to do something, don't make no excuses for it. Just do it and do it, because you can't please everybody regardless. So let's get that understood also. Now, the pastor put down a deposit and hasn't paid off the SUV. That's what they say. But question the criticism he has received. If he had bought her a mid-price sedan, no one would have cared, John Gray said. With the income from his other project, he said he can afford to make her happy. So if you can afford to make her happy, then why justify it then? That's the whole point. So it's evidently must be some guilt there. And also, you can't please everybody, because the people who are really scamming the community, they never call them out. And the people who don't ask for a damn dime, some kind of way they're damn scamming. You feel me? They figure that anybody that have something, they scam their way to get it. You feel me? And you have some people that do and some people that don't. That's why I don't ask for nothing. People ask me all the time, when you donate that, when your Patreon setting up, I'll set it up when I can, but I'm good for right now. You feel me? Because, I'm going to keep doing me. Because at the same time, look, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it was crazy for his wife to say what she said when she compared a preacher to a basketball player. Said, do you all complain and when you see basketball players drive fancy cars, but you pay to see them play? Okay, they're entertainers. So you want us to look at preachers like we're entertainers? And also for the pastor to kind of have like he was upset a little bit. I smelled a little vigorol up in there. But, people are going to look at you because we look at preachers already in a certain light, even though a lot of us, starting to realize what's really going on. But come on. I mean, how much excess do we need? And there's nothing wrong if you got that kind of money to buy your wife a $200-some-thousand car. But for them to say, put a down deposit on it. I mean, if you got money and book deals, you think we're going to believe that you put a down payment on this car instead of paying $200,000 cash on this car? I doubt that very seriously. But that's your business if you think that. But for people to sit up here and say that God wants people to be prosperous and all that, you can believe what you want to believe. You can believe the Olsteens and whatnot. But at the same time, why did he go into gamblers' den the tables and turn the tables over? Why would they say in Matthew 19:24 about the rich man entering the kingdom of heaven and camel through the eye of a needle? Why would they make these comparisons? But then on the other hand, you got people over here saying you should live this way, but then you got this book saying another way. You feel me? I feel you should just live within your means, help those you can, because people are going to say something about you, whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. But at the same time, don't compare yourself to no NBA player because they are entertainers. And you preachers supposed to be called by God. See, that's the difference. That's what you all say. We don't say that. That's what you say. Well, God told me this. God told me that. And come to find out, he ain't told you Nathan, which is nothing. Let me know what you all think about this video. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends. We want to make excuses for everything. If you're going to do something, just do it. Hell, they're going to talk about you whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. But at the same time, let's just be real. A preacher is not an NBA player. That's the problem. Main problem I have with it right there. And if he got book deals and he's connected to Joe Olsteen, we know they about that money, them big buckety bucks. That's on them. But for them to say they put a deposit down, come on, man. If you got that kind of money, you paying cash. If that's a dream car, well, I'll put a deposit down. What if you lose everything? You gonna lose that too? No, you're gonna pay cash for it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Till then, y'all have a very nice, blessed day. I'm out.